Hello world, in this video I'm gonna continue my journey exploring MCP servers in Python, and I'm taking everyone who is interested of you with me. So far I have used or tried some MCPs, like for instance from Supabase and also from Airbnb and other kinds of MCP servers which are available, and they are quite interesting and easy actually to implement normally, and added them to Cursor for instance, probably also to Windsurf or to Claude Desktop, right? This works. But I'm always interested actually in creating my own MCP server. Because what if I like to implement something which is not there yet, or just explore how that works? So that's why I'm gonna make this video and I'm gonna take you with me. So for that, what you basically need is you need to install MCP CLI if you want to do this yourself. And what's a little bit confusing to me is that actually it's called always server here fast MCP, and also if you ask an AI it's recommended to install the fast MCP package, but this is not true actually. What you need to install is the MCP CLI package. So you can do that like this. Let me just show you here. Pip install MCP CLI. You need this to install this package. You can also use UV, by the way, and they also recommend actually using UV, but it doesn't matter. You can also use pip if you want, but it's important to install the right package. That's basically the point I like to drive home here. So having said that, after you do this, then you can of course do that in a virtual environment, but then you can actually import it, like here, MCP server, fast MCP, import the fast MCP server. And if you have this, basically from that point on, it's actually quite easy to do, because what it provides more or less are just decorators in Python, and at the end of the day you need to run the server at the end, which is the MCP server. That's basically the idea. And you can see you need to install the server first, or basically instantiate it here, MCP fast MCP, and then you can give it a name, and then basically all you do is you decorate all the function you want to use. And in this video I explore a little additional things, or a few additional things, because normally what you only have is mcp.tools, which means that you provide various functions to the MCP server. For instance, here, just as an example, here's the MCP tool, and this is just stock price, and it just takes the ticker of the stock, and then it just returns here the latest stock price. For instance, here the regular market price from by Finance API. So this is a simple Python function. It really does not much actually, but by using a decorator, we can add this to the MCP server. And of course, if you give a proper description, then of course the LLM also knows, okay, this tool I can use for here fetching stock prices, for instance, right? So that's basically it. But as I said, I like to explore this a little bit deeper. So I also like to figure out what else is there, because we can not only provide tools to the MCP server, but also additional things like resources and also prompts. So for instance here, let me show this to you. Here I have a resource which I provide to my MCP server, which is here the report, and it's a markdown file. And this report markdown file is also in the server where the vast MCP server lives. So more or less I have a resource here which is more or less referring to this report file, this markdown file, and then I have the MCP tool which can read, in this case here, which can use this resource. So that just means that if I ask now, for instance, Claude Desktop for information about the report here in this case, then the MCP server will be able to read this data. So give this data to the LLM will give me then a summary. So I tried that works. So believe me, you can try it yourself if you want. But the interesting part here really is that there's more than just tools or just Python functions. We can also add additional resources which we provide to the server, which then can also be used by the client at the end. So in this case by, for instance, Claude Desktop, right? And this is just one thing. The other thing which is also available is here the mcp.prompt decorator, which also allows to decorate the function. And this is just returning a prompt, a specific prompt. So please summarize the project report provided in context. And the same is true here for this one here for the stock price ticker, for instance. So it just means that you can add next to functions, so tools, you can also add resources and prompts. So these are the three things, at least to my knowledge, which you can currently add. And after you decided which kind of tools, in this case prompts and also resources you would like to add, then finally, of course, all you need to do is run the server, calling, in this case, done the main, and the MCP.run. That's basically it. So this is your server. So far, so good. Now you can test the server. Either you can just run it, but then it actually doesn't do anything. But you can also run, I think it's called MCP run server dev or something like that. You can look that up. But if you do this, then you get simply a pop-up in your browser, and then you can also explore the server in a visual way if you want like to do this. But also interesting is, of course, if you do it completely in Python. So let's say you do not want to use Cursor, or you also do not want to use in this case Claude Desktop, for instance, you just want to have your own Python client which can interact with the server. Then you can take a look at this one here, Python client.py here, and that's basically it. And what it does, it needs also MCP as the library or the package, but then it can use the client session and also certain kinds of parameters here, and also what kind of, well, protocol, it's not a protocol, but what kind of, I don't know, connection mode, I think it's called, something like that, is used, which is standard IO. And then you just define a few parameters. Here in this is, for instance, Python, and then also where is the server located, which is this one here. And then you just start this client itself. And then you can do this in an asynchronous way. As you can see here, you can await this one here, and then it awaits simply a tool call and also this report MD file. And we can run this if I just use this one and say, in this case, Python, simply a Python command. So Python and then client.py. So client.py like this. And we run this, and we should get actually stop price for Microsoft here. And as you can see here, they're here made Microsoft quote, and then here, for instance, currently $450 around that, right? So that's basically the. So this is how you can more or less run this Python client. You will also find more information in the documentation, of course, if you do this. But this is just it for the video. So as I said, it was a learning journey for me, and I just thought it might be worth sharing with you. So of course, everyone interested, and as I said, you can just install it. Just be aware one more time that you install the right fast MCP package, because that's what confused me at the beginning, especially if you ask an AI like, for instance, ChatGPT or any other kind of AI model, then you might probably get the wrong package which they recommend. Okay, so that's it for this video. If you enjoyed it, give this video a thumbs up. Please subscribe to the channel and also share it. Thanks a lot, take care, and see you on the next video.